Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there in internet land.
I'm going to bed.
Okay, there's John. John, you say hello to everybody. Here's Mama in the living room getting ready for bed. So everybody at internet out in internet land, look, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm losing my freaking hair, people. Look at that.
Oh, buddy.
Head up. We went up to an orchard and
You're crazy.
my girlfriend, I don't know if you can hear her, she's in the living room, and I was kneeling down petting a sheep, and she took a picture, and I'm telling you, I don't have no hair up here. I'm surprised I have this hair. But right through here, there's no hair.
Oh my God.
The hair is all over here on the sides. So, I don't know. Okay, medical updates. Medical updates. I'm having another MRI done. So, I talked to my doctor. I talked to my doctor, not the surgeon. We're getting some signals I don't really care for, as if the surgeon doesn't really want to do this. Um, the nurse, thankfully it was the doctor's regular nurse, was back. I hadn't seen her in a while. And somehow she mentioned Boston. Boston. Beantown, Boston. And
You're crazy, honey.
and so anyway, somehow that got brought up, and the nurse said, "Oh, there are a lot of great surgeons and doctors in Boston." Boston. Anyway, so we're not going to drive in Boston. Um, the only way we're going to go is if we know from the get-go that something good's gonna happen. John, what you after? So the probability is that I will return to Lebanon and to the hospital that had the shooting the other day. Is it yesterday or the day before? Who was it, sweetie? The yesterday? Yesterday or the day before, they had a shooting at the hospital in intensive care. Um, anyway, so, well, I'm not concerned about that. I mean, crime like that in New Hampshire, it was very rare, especially in the more rural areas. And Lebanon is actually a semi-rural area. It's more like Keene, but a different atmosphere. I like Keene's atmosphere. Lebanon seems to be more spread out. I don't care for that. Keene, you can get any place you need to go, you can walk. You may have a bit of a walk, 15, 20 minutes, but it's a pleasant walk. Um, except in the middle of winter, of course, when there's 20 feet of snow on the ground and 5 feet of ice. Then you don't want to do it. Plus, it may be minus 40 degrees. Although more likely it'll be minus 20. But I remember back in Texas, folks, it gets to about freezing, a little lower than freezing, and folks are all wrapped up like it's January up here. And I'm telling you, it's not that cold in Texas. I don't care what part of Texas you live in. I lived there for 40 years. I think I should know, and I lived in more than one spot. So anyway, so it's interesting. My girlfriend and I are both Southerners living in New Hampshire, and we prefer New Hampshire. I like the culture. I like the environment. I like the people. I really can't say anything bad about New Hampshire. Um, what can you say bad about New Hampshire? Nothing. A note is that the trees are already starting to turn. They're starting to change color already. It's not wintertime yet. Okay, folks, it's not wintertime yet. It's not really fall, but it feels like, although today it was about 80 degrees, which was warm up here. And Texas, of course, 105, 110 degrees. Oh well. But up here, you know, we have hit the century mark before. But anyway, so the surgery. If I do go to Lebanon, I think I would prefer a different surgeon. If we go to Boston, then I'll probably be happy with whoever I get, as long as it's one of the good ones. And the problem is surgeons, you don't know this because you're under, but there are surgeons out there who are very mean. They will throw things, including scalpels. My mother told me about this. When she had to do her surgical rotation in nursing school, she said some of those surgeons, they're just, of course, to some people, surgeons are gods. And they think, oh, I can do anything I want. I throw stuff around, throw stuff at you, actually. But, I mean, what if you're dealing with a patient that has a communicable disease, and what are you going to do, huh? So the kiddos are gone. They're out. Um, but one's living nearby, the other one's living further away. I don't think we're going to hear from the other one again, but you never know. But one of them we will definitely hear from because he's our son. Sort of my stepson, even though we're not married. But, I married Carolyn, and she's my wife. So, I have a girlfriend that I love and care about. They're two different people, two different relationships. I'm just not sure I can get married again and be scared that something else is going to happen. I don't want things to happen to people. So anyway, so surgery could be Manchester, could be Concord, it could be Boston. Boston is less likely. Boston's on the bottom rung of the possible locations. So most likely it'd be Lebanon or Manchester. But I'm going to have the MRI done down here. And then, that will be sent to the doctor, to the surgeon in Lebanon, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to do any more of this consultation after consultation after consultation. That is stupid. I'm not doing that. It's the same thing. 5-10 minutes in the office with the doctor. I say the same things. He says the same things. I'm like, why? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? You don't need to do this every month or 2 or 3 times a month. You do it once or twice, go through the steps, but you don't do the same freaking thing 20 times. So I'm still upset. So anyway, I need the surgery. I want the surgery. I need the surgery. I'm scared to have it. I don't know. Scared isn't really the right word. There's some anxiety, quite a bit of anxiety due to it, which reminds me, was it Kierkegaard? The Concept of Anxiety. I need to read that. Some other things I need to read, but you can only read so much at a time. I mean, you can't have 20 books in front of you and read each one as you're reading, I mean, I have several books that I read at a time, but not all of them open right there. I have one, I'm reading it. I I have 2 or 3 over here, maybe 1 or 2 over there. When I stop reading that one book, I put it down, pick up a different book and start reading that. Put that one down, pick up a different book. My girlfriend says, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how I do it either. I could not explain it to you. It's just that's what I do. But here's a book. I don't know why I have the page open. Anyway, this is The Nazi Persecution of the Churches, 1933-1945, by J.S. Conway. The Nazi era is sort of my thing right now. But this book I needed at least one other book on religion in Nazi Germany, and I think I may have found one, but it's not something I'm going to be ordering anytime soon because I have enough books to freaking read. The Nazi War on Cancer. Hitler hated smoking. A lot of people don't know that. He was also a vegetarian, and no, he was not a Christian. I mean, I'm an atheist, but I'm not going to lie about people and say that they were something they weren't. Yes, he made public pronouncements in favor of Christianity, but privately, he hated religion. I mean, remember, Hitler was, if you like it or not, a Marxist, or at least he was a socialist, not necessarily a Marxist, but he was a socialist, and he did have good things to say about Marx. He said he liked Marx's ideas and he just improved on them. That's all. But which reminds me, I need to start reading some Marx, Engels, and Lenin. I have some books. I don't have all that I would like, but I can only read so much. And here's another book I wish I could read. I think it's a biography of Mr. May, written by Hans Wolschlager. Problem is, it's in German. It's all in German. I can't read German. I lived in Germany, but I was a little kid. I can't read it. I still speak a little bit of it, but I can't read it, and most of what I know are cuss words. So anyway, I know a little more than just cuss words, but I couldn't carry on a conversation with anyone. Can't speak that much. The same with all the languages I learned. Living everywhere. I couldn't, except for maybe for some Spanish and Japanese at the time. Maybe no, I don't think I ever knew enough. I knew enough to be polite. I knew enough how to ask questions, but I never knew enough Japanese to carry on a conversation. The Spanish language would be the exception to all those other ones. I actually knew that language. Of course, it's my native language too. So, anyway, I wanted to make a correction to one of my recent videos. This Christopher Cantwell. I actually don't think I ever knew him. I'm not sure I actually met him. Because I was looking at, when I was looking at the story, sometimes people just look the same. So he may have looked like somebody I knew. It's possible that I met him. More likely I ran across him, but never really, because I didn't know the guy. Never knew him. But it's very possible I never met him. It's very possible I never ran across him. I don't remember. I mean, it's been a few years. I have nothing to do with those people. But I will say this. The people he was involved with in a nearby community, many of them are in fact racist. Many are in fact Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that because I'm not going to drain my good energy by talking about those people. Um, Thankfully, but also sadly, more people than not have come to see them for what they are, and so they're bullies and things like that. But they're going to have to live with their live with the choices, live with the decisions they've made in life, just like I do, just like the rest of us do. It's just they're making some pretty bad decisions. At least they used to. Probably still are. Like I've said before, they're also very well armed. They claim to be peaceful. Well, I'm peaceful, but I like guns. But I'm also not planning on doing anything stupid. Yet I'm sure more than a few of them have. Maybe well, I know some of them have. I know they've done quite a few stupid things. But anyway, so um, I not faxed. I scanned some pictures. I don't know where they are. I can't find them in my programs. Cat, are you out there? I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what's going on in your life. I care. I'm your daddy. Carolyn was your mommy. We care about you. I'd rather us be friends on Facebook and YouTube and wherever else. But I guess at this point, it's up to you. If my criticizing of AA, NA, 12 steps is problematic, then maybe look at why people like me criticize AA. It doesn't work. 3 to 5% success rate is not successful. More people quit alcohol on their own than get help in AA. And all you have to do is Google like AA murders and 13 stepping and stuff like that. You find all sorts of things linked to AA that are very, very bad. And you know what? The 12 steps, the first step says something about alcohol, and that's it. That's it. It's not about alcohol. It's about religious conversion. I mean, do you know the history of AA? Do you know the history of Dr. Bob and Bill Wilson? They weren't good people. They weren't good people by a long shot. They were involved with some very bad people, and they did some very bad things. So, but a lot of cults have founders, leaders, whatever, that do that, and people like, oh well, they were good people. They had their foibles, but they were good people. These were not good people. They were not good people. They did some very bad things. And they set up a very bad organization. And thankfully, more and more people are coming to realize it, and more people are getting real help and not some 12-step religious BS. Because that's all it is. I was involved with it for maybe a couple of years. I don't know how long. And I went to more than one meeting. I went to quite a few meetings. You know, what is it? 30 meetings in 30 days. Go to 2 or 3, 4 or 5 meetings a day. All that BS. I went to several different clubs, and there were really some really sad, sick people that were there. And these were supposed to be the people giving advice. These people were in no position to give anybody any advice. But, the way steppers attack people like me, I want people to know the truth about AA, that's all. I want people who want help to get real help. If you quit drinking and you were in AA didn't do it. You did it. There's nothing about AA that helps you quit. It's all about religion. So, anyway, I guess I don't have much more to say. So everybody have a great night. Goodbye.